Hi students! Today we will learn about a fun weekly class project called Reading Circles. We will do these every week to help your understanding of the book and to improve your reading and vocabulary skills. Today we will learn how a reading circle works. Most Fridays, you, the students, will be responsible for running the reading circle. In your class, your teacher will divide you up in teams and also tell you the dates and chapters for each reading circle. For every reading circle, you will have different jobs. One week, you would be the discussion leader. Another week, you would be a scan master. Another week, you would be a word wizard. And another week, you would be the illustrator. You will be graded on how well you perform the jobs or roles for each reading circle. Each reading circle assignment is worth 10 points and will count as an application activity. If you are not prepared for your reading circle role, you will get a 0 for that section. Your teachers will post a blank handout to the class website that you should fill out and print out before class. As we go through this video, I will show you examples of what that will look like. First, let's talk about the Duke or Duchess of discussion. This person will be the leader for the reading circle. As the leader, the Duke or Duchess of discussion will ask each member to present his or her role and will also be sure that all students are staying on task. Next, let's look at what the blank handout will look like. Remember, your teacher will put this up on the class website for you to fill out and print. On the blank form, you can see that there is a place for a summary, a 2-sentence summary, and then a place for each role. Here's what the Scan Masters looks like, the Word Wizard, instructions for the illustrator, and then a final thing for the Duke or Duchess of discussion. When you come to class, be sure that you have filled out your roles in addition to the summary. As you can see from this example, this student completed the summary, didn't do a 2-sentence summary yet because that will happen in class, and then this week the student is the Scan Master, so they have prepared questions for their group. The rest of the document, however, is still blank. Next, let's talk about the first part of the reading circle. Each member of your team must write, read aloud, and hand out a 6 to 7 sentence summary of the most important events from the chapter for the reading circle. Let's watch this group as they work through their summaries.
Hi, my name is Joan and I am the Duchess of Discussion, and I am also the leader. All right, is everybody ready? Did you bring everything that we need?
Well, I've got my book and I've got my worksheet.
Good, you too. Great.
Both pieces of them.
Good, I've got mine too.
Well,
Tara?
I brought my papers and my pencil, but I forgot my book.
Oh, Tara.
I'm sorry. You can share with me today.
Thank you so much, Karen.
You're welcome.
Students, remember you all have to have your book.
Sorry, I'll bring mine next time.
All right, let's begin. How about if we all share our summaries? So, Tara, do you want to start?
Sure. Okay. In Chapter 4, Edmund meets the White Witch. In the beginning of the chapter, the White Witch asks Edmund who he is. Edmund explains that he is looking for his sister. The White Witch invites Edmund to sit in her sledge. She gives Edmund something hot to drink, but she does not give him anything to eat. So Edmund is still hungry. The White Witch wants Edmund to bring back his 2 sisters and his brothers so that they can meet the White Witch. Edmund agrees to bring them back if the White Witch will feed him. Once the White Witch leaves, Edmund finds Lucy and they plan to go back to where they came from.
Okay.
Well, I think that maybe it was okay, but maybe not everything was correct. What do you guys think?
I don't remember that part about, what was it again? What was the part that we all looked at each other funny?
Oh yeah, where
What that part
the food.
was. Yeah, that she didn't give him anything to eat. But remember,
Didn't she?
what about Turkish delight?
Yeah, what about Turkish delight?
Oh.
Remember, he felt sick because he ate so much. Well,
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that part.
Mm.
So,
So that should be in the summary.
so I think I made a mistake in my summary.
Well, why don't you just put it, change that part?
Yeah, what should I change it to?
well, I think you said that she didn't give him anything to eat. You can say that she did give him some Turkish delight, and he wanted more.
Okay, thanks you guys.
Yeah.
All right. So, Karen, do you want to give us your summary?
I would love to. Okay. Oh, all right. In chapter 4, Edmund is introduced to the White Witch. The White Witch calls herself the Queen. She thought that Edmund was a large dwarf and that did not have a beard. Edmund explains that he is just a little boy. The Queen thought that Edmund was not smart and could not answer her questions. The Queen, once she found out that Edmund was a boy, asked him to sit with her on her sledge. Edmund was scared to sit with the Queen because she was rude to him. Edmund did not want to make her angry, so he sat with her in the sledge. Once he was in the sledge, the Queen started to talk better to Edmund. She asked him if he was cold. Edmund was cold from the snow. He was not expecting to be in a new world where there was snow. The Queen gave Edmund something hot to drink. She had while I'm reading this, I feel like maybe mine's too long. What do you guys think?
Much too long.
Why do you think it's too long? What's wrong with it?
I think you included too many details.
Yeah, our teacher said just to include the main ideas in our summary.
I'm going to write down that note. Okay. So actually, I'm not going to read the whole thing to you guys because I think I have too many details. I'd like to hear some more, maybe. See what you guys did.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, Lisa, how about you?
Okay, chapter 4 is about Edmund finally going to Narnia along with Lucy. Edmund didn't believe Lucy when she said that she went to Narnia. No one believed Lucy in the beginning. Edmund met the White Witch while he was in Narnia, but Lucy did not see her. The White Witch gave Edmund something to drink and eat. I think that the White Witch is a terrible person. She's trying to trick Edmund into bringing his sisters and brother to Narnia. I think the White Witch wants to capture them so they cannot talk to Tumnus, the fawn. Overall, this chapter was about Edmund meeting the White Witch.
Well, what about having your opinion in there? Isn't that not what we do in summaries? Aren't we supposed to
Yeah.
be, what's that word we're supposed to be?
Objective?
Yeah, objective.
I forgot about that. Okay, so I have to cross some of these sentences out there.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right, so I'll give it a try. In chapter 4, both Edmund and Lucy are in Narnia, and Edmund meets the White Witch, who calls herself the Queen of Narnia. After Edmund does not believe Lucy about Narnia, Edmund himself goes to Narnia unexpectedly. Once Edmund enters Narnia, he meets the White Witch, who discovers that Edmund has 2 sisters and 1 brother. She seems interested in this and offers Edmund something hot to drink and anything he wants to eat. That's not right, is it? Does she offer him anything he wants to eat?
I think so.
Is that what she says?
Well, thank you. Let's start in the book.
Now that I write it, I think it's that she offers him Turkish delight. I don't think she offers him a choice. What page are you getting to? 37 is where she seems to be getting something for her to drink. what would you like best to eat on 38? Oh, I am right. At least she asks him, what would you like best to eat? And he says, Turkish delight, please.
Yeah.
So I'm better than I thought.
Yeah.
So, to persuade him to bring his family back with him to Narnia, Edmund, selfishly wanting more Turkish delight, joins the Queen's side and promises to do what she asks. After the White Witch leaves, Edmund meets up with Lucy, who has been spending more time with Tumnus, the fawn. They decide to leave Narnia for now. Edmund is now waiting for the right moment to lure his two sisters and brother back to Narnia into the hands of the White Witch.
That's really good.
Yeah, I agree.
I like your story.
Oh, good.
Yours is the best.
Mm-hmm.
Out of our group.
I like how yours summarizes all the chapter,
Hmm.
just the main idea.
Yeah, you didn't include too many details. You didn't include opinion, and it seemed to be all correct, I think.
Okay,
Good job.
great.
All right.
Notice how in the video, the students helped each other and helped to correct each summary. They had good reasons as to why one summary was better than the other one, and if they had a question, they checked things out in the book. The next part of the group is to write a 2-sentence summary. The team leader will help you do this.
So I think the next thing that we need to do is to write a shorter summary. I think if we could get it down to a 2-sentence summary that really gets the most important main ideas for the chapter.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we really liked yours. Do you think we could look at yours and then try to make it shorter, maybe?
Sure.
Okay. All right. And then when we have it ready, we'll all write it down on our worksheets.
Okay, sounds good.
The next job is the Scan Master. When the Scan Master comes to class, he or she will already have written the summary that each student must write, and also they will have filled out their weekly role. The job of the Scan Master is to write 4 true or false statements about important details from the assigned chapter and present those statements to the other members of the team. The team members must decide if the statements are true or false and find the page and line number in the chapter that supports their answers. From this completed page, you can see that the Scan Master already knows if an answer is true or false and exactly where to find the support. Let's watch this group and see how they do.
Hi, I'm Karen, and I am the Scan Master.
All right, so let's go on. And Karen, will you do your part as the Scan Master?
Yes, I would love to. Okay, so what I did is I wrote down some true-false questions, some statements, and I'm going to ask you guys to listen to it and write down what I say, and then look and see if you think it's true or false, and write the page number that you found the answer, okay? All right, so number 1. Edmund thought the Queen was going to do something very bad to him, but she seemed to change her mind. I can read it again if you want me to.
Yes, please.
Okay. Edmund thought the Queen was going to do something very bad to him, but she seemed to change her mind.
Can I borrow your book?
Yeah, go right
Thank
ahead.
you.
So I kind of remember that.
Yeah.
I think it, as my memory is that it's true, but I better check in the book first.
I'll let you all check.
I think it's true. Can't you just tell me the page number?
You know, if I tell you the page number, then that doesn't really help you very much in the
Isn't it?
long run.
Is it in chapter 4?
Yeah, definitely chapter 4.
Oh.
I see it on page 36.
Oh.
So right in the middle of 36, it says, as she spoke these words, she rose from her seat and looked Edmund full in the face. her eyes flaming. At the same moment, she raised her wand. Edmund felt sure that she was going to do something dreadful, but he seemed unable to move. Then, just as he gave himself up for lost, she appeared to change her mind.
Oh.
So do you all agree?
Yeah, but what does wand mean?
Does anybody know what wand means? I think it's maybe something she has.
She has something.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I want to know what does appeared to change her mind?
Well, see, when I read that, then when I wrote my question, I changed it a little bit. Like she
Yes.
seemed to change her mind. So I thought it was a synonym, appeared and seemed. So it looked like she changed her mind.
Oh, maybe the wand is something she does a bad thing with.
Maybe so. Yeah.
Oh. She appeared to change her mind about doing something bad with the wand.
Yeah.
Now I understand.
Yeah, so you guys said page 36. That's what I wrote down. And
We said true.
true, yes. Nice job. Okay, let's go on to number 2.
Notice how the students all wrote down a true or false statement, and then they discussed the answers. If they had questions or didn't understand the vocabulary, they helped each other and looked in the book. Finally, once they all agreed on the answer, they wrote down if it was true or false, and they also wrote down the page number. The next job is the word wizard. The word wizard will come to class with their summary and with the word wizard section filled out. The job of the word wizard is to choose 3 new words from the chapter that are important to understanding the chapter. The word wizard will ask the team members to find these words on a certain page and to guess the meaning from context. Once everyone has guessed, the word wizard will then tell the team members what the words mean. Some of these words might end up on your word wall. The word wizard should also know the part of speech for each word. Let's meet our word wizard and see how the team does.
Hi, my name is Lacey, and I am the word wizard.
All right, so let's move on. And Lacey, can you do your part as the word wizard?
Sure. The first word I chose is dreadful, and it's on page 36.
Can you spell that for me?
Yeah.
It's DREADFUL.
So I bet it's an adjective because it ends in FUL. You know,
That's a
a
suffix,
suffix,
right?
but that word ending usually is an adjective.
Cool.
But let's see.
I'm smart. So what page did you say?
36.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see it.
Yeah, I have it
It
underlined
says
in my book
Edmund
too.
felt sure that she was going to do something dreadful, but he seemed unable to move.
This is the same sentence that you
Yeah.
chose.
So-
it must be important.
Yeah, so remember, we were talking about her doing something bad or doing something good. So in this sentence, do you think it's bad or good?
Bad. You said it was bad.
It must be bad.
Good job. Good
Yeah, good guess. Very bad or unpleasant is the definition I have.
Bad or
How do you spell unpleasant?
UNPLEASANT.
I see a prefix in that word.
Yeah. What does un mean? I forgot.
You don't remember?
It's an antonym maker. It makes antonyms. Not.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
pleasant.
Thanks, Lacey.
So then both of these words in the definition would also be adjectives, wouldn't they?
Yep.
Great.
Okay. Any questions about that one, or can we move on to number 2? All right, number 2.
Did you notice how all of the students were writing down the page number, the word, the part of speech, and the definition? They were doing a good job in their reading circle. The next job is the incredible illustrator. One member of your team will draw some kind of picture related to the assigned chapter. It can be a sketch, cartoon, diagram, or a stick figure. You don't have to be a good artist. Your teacher will even let you use pictures that you find on the internet, but you cannot use any that's from a website already designed for the book or from the movie. Be very careful if you use something from the internet. As you can see from the handout, the instructions say to bring in your drawing or pictures you have put together, and that you will turn it in with this form. Notice that so far, the illustrator has not filled anything else in except for the summary. Here's a picture that the illustrator of this group did. Notice that it's taken from the internet, but there are many different kinds of characters there. The picture can be something that is specifically discussed in the chapter, or something that the reading reminded the illustrator of, or a picture that shows an idea or feeling that the illustrator got from the reading. The illustrator will show his or her picture to the other team members, and the team members will share what they think the picture means. After every team member has had a say, the illustrator will tell what the picture means and why they chose to draw that particular picture. Let's meet our illustrator for the group.
Hi, I'm Tara. I'm the incredible illustrator.
Well, Tara, I think it's time for us to show you your incredible illustration. Can you do that?
Yeah, okay, so I made this illustration with, it's about chapter 4, and it shows the part where the White Witch gives the Turkish delight to Edmund, and she's sitting in her sledge, and then they're in the forest with the snow, and then there's the mean dwarf who's sitting there, and he's got his arms crossed because he's mean. Yeah.
But didn't the teacher say not to take something from the movie?
This isn't from the movie. This is from this is from Google Images. Yeah. This one is from a different movie. It's from Snow White. Yeah. And this one was Santa Claus, but I changed it.
And the dwarf is from Sleep, Grumpy and Bumpy and, you know?
Yeah. Snow White.
Snow White and all
Yeah.
7 dwarfs.
Yeah.
Is
And
it?
then, yeah, it's from Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, but he's a dwarf too. So I thought that the dwarf in that movie was like the dwarf in this book.
That's cool. Why did you choose to make an illustration of this particular part of the chapter?
Because I thought that it was an important scene, and it's one of the most important parts about the chapter, because it's when Edmund eats the Turkish delights, and that's the reason why he wants to go back and see the queen again, so he can get more.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think it's important in the chapter. Yeah.
Great.
Great job, Tara. Finally, the last job goes back to the Duke or Duchess of Discussion. This person will find one passage from the chapter that is important. The idea of this job is to help the group members remember something that is interesting, powerful, funny, puzzling, or important. They will tell the team where to find the section, read the passage out loud, and then ask the team to guess why he or she chose the passage. Some reasons for choosing the passage might be because it's important information, it's well written, it's surprising, confusing, controversial, funny, or thought-provoking. As you can see from the handout, this is what the Duke or Duchess brings to class with them. Let's watch Joan as she leads the reading circle.
All right, so now I'm going to be the Duchess of Discussion, and I'm going to tell you about a particular passage from the chapter that I thought was really important. And that is on page 44, the bottom paragraph on page 44. And it starts with, "But Edmund secretly thought." Do you see it?
Yeah, I'm just going to write down what it starts with so I can look at it later if I want.
Okay. It's a little bit long. It goes to the end of the page, but I don't think so. I don't think you want to write all of it. Okay, so it says, but Edmund secretly thought that it would not be as good fun for him as for her, and that means Lucy. He would have to admit that Lucy had been right before all the others, and he felt sure the others would all be on the side of the fawns and the animals, but he was already more than half on the side of the witch. Why do you think I chose that passage?
Maybe, like, does Edmund feel, maybe it kind of shows how Edmund isn't really thinking about his family, he's just thinking about himself.
Yeah, that is one of the things I was thinking about.
I think it shows how Edmund might be different from his brothers and sisters.
And maybe it's giving us a clue what will happen in the future, that maybe there will be like a fight or some kind of problem between Edmund and his siblings.
Yeah, I was thinking about all those things, so I think that's great. I think I was also kind of mixing that passage with, just above it, that whole feeling that Edmund seemed to be almost addicted, as if like to a drug or something, to the Turkish delight. And it made me think about how people who get addicted to a drug of any kind forget about people that they love because they get like slaves almost to this substance.
That's really interesting. I didn't think about it that way. But yeah, I agree with you.
And the last thing I thought about was that it almost seems, as you were saying, Lacey, that, well, and Tara too, that there's something different about Edmund. And I was starting to think that maybe C.S. Lewis is trying to show that if you're, I don't know how to say this, if you're already in some kind of a negative, if you're walking down a negative road, that you're more open to temptations from other negative influences. Do you know what I mean?
So if you're already doing like little small bad things,
Yeah,
maybe it'll be easier for you to do other bad things.
yeah. And it's already shown, you know, the way he was mean to Lucy and the way he laughed at her and teased her more than the others did. And even right at the beginning when he's kind of angry instead of about going and leaving home, it just seems like he is somehow going in a different direction.
Yeah, it seems like Edmund is going to be bad. in
Or
the
at
story.
least trouble.
He's going to make trouble in the story. That's a better way to say it.
The discussion leader also has another important job. Let's watch these next two clips and see if you can figure out what it is.
Okay, so number 2, Edmund wanted to know why the Queen was asking so many questions.
Excuse me, Tara. I think you could put your phone away for a little while now because you're being kind of impolite.
Oh,
No.
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry.
That's all right. Just, we all want to be doing this together.
Okay, I won't do that anymore.
Thank
Where are
you.
we?
You want me-
Lacey, ¿qué vas a
Okay.
hacer este fin de semana?
Bueno, ¿sabes qué?
Number
3.
Tengo una idea muy buena.
Excuse me,
Number
ladies.
3.
Ladies, I'm sorry, but I think we better stay with English.
Just 1 second.
No,
Vamos a ir
Lacey,
al-
Lacey, you
no,
can't.
I don't understand.
Did you notice that the discussion leader also kept everybody on task? They made sure that everybody was participating and speaking English. Good job, Joan. Finally, I want to show you what each person should turn in at the end of their reading circle. Remember that when you come to class, you should have already printed off the handout from the class website and filled in the part for your roles for that week. This person was the word wizard, so they filled out the summary, and then the word wizard section of the handout. As class went on, they filled out everything else. Notice that they put their name and what chapter they were using, any changes that they made to their summary, and then they added everything else that happened in the reading circle. There's the 2-sentence summary, the Scan Master questions, the word wizard that they came to class with, notes about the illustration, and then notes about the Duke or Duchess of discussion. Every person should turn in this handout. If you have any questions about this video or about reading circles, ask your teachers.
Happy reading!